So traffic control is going to be utilized with both on-duty patrol officers as well as CERT members. We plan on having about 5 to 6 CERT members set up, and as you enter into the school, handicap parking is going to be in the main, the upper entrance to the school. So in the fire lane area will need to be cleared, but handicap parking will be adjacent to that so that we can get those handicapped people that are in there. There'll be an officer or a CERT member right at the entrance having motorists or voters go to either the upper part or the lower part, upper part if they're handicapped. To the lower part, what will end up happening is there'll be fully visible CERT members that will be waving folks to the furthest end of the parking lot as possible. And the idea is to not have too many vehicles utilizing backing and pulling out features in the parking spots closest to Wallace Road, because that will end up forcing the queue back onto Wallace Road, which will end up making traffic problems at the roundabout. So the idea is that most of the CERT members will be pulling traffic back towards this section of the high school so that they can potentially park here and go in and vote. Now, as we get up to the back side of the school, or towards the back side of the school, Park Lane will be coned off, because we don't want to end up having people parking on either side of Park Lane, because it is very narrow and it'll create some significant parking issues. And once one person parks wrong, other people park right behind and it creates gridlock. So that same coning mechanism will be used on this section of the roadway because it's just too narrow to be able to park a person on one side and still be able to get traffic through on the other side. So the available parking spaces will be in the back of the school, as you see, as well as these spots on this side, and in the rear parking area, where there'll be another CERT member that will be located right in this general direction. So up in the back lot, CERT will hopefully be able to set up their tent right in this general area, so that people that are having to park up here can walk to this general area where the tent is, and they'll be able to catch a shuttle bus that's going to be provided at no cost to the town to cycle people back to the front of the building. I don't exactly know how long the shuttle bus will take to get from one side of the building to the other, but it should be relatively quick if you decide you don't want to walk. So folks can collect here, get picked up by the bus, be shuttled back around, and then when they're ready to leave, they can do the same thing. Voters are going to be allowed to have access to the rear entrance to the building. There'll be some type of lighting mechanism out back here so that they can see in the evening. Those back doors will be open, and there'll be plenty of signage for directing people to the gym where the voting is going to take place. So this particular back stretch, what I envision is that there'll be cones at least on one side of this roadway, so that there won't be parking on both sides. It'll probably have a need to have parking in the back here at some point in time, but we're going to try to restrict this as much as possible. And obviously, parking on Wallace Road, it's been done. It's not suggestible to do so. Certainly in the areas where it says no parking, we don't want you to park, but if you find a spot that it's not restricted by the signage, then you'll be able to do so, but we hope to do it on one side. Now, as you'll notice, I'm pulling right into the school parking lot, and this is where we'd like to have people enter the school from. And that would be approaching on Wallace Road, approaching the school in a northerly fashion. So essentially, you'll be coming from the Bedford side, making a right-hand turn into the main entrance of the school. This would be ideal from the police department standpoint, because if you're making a right, you're not having to come from the roundabout, which is where the majority of the traffic will be, and which will make traffic slower as a whole. So we're hoping that folks maybe take an alternate route to get to the high school. So if you're coming from the east or the south, maybe you'll take Norman Road to go up to Wallace Road and then come down, or you'll end up being able to find, if you're coming from Bedford, if you get out of work and you're headed to the polls, maybe you'll end up going up Shirley Hill to Wallace Road and then down as well.